Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. Today we are on section 1-2. Hope you did section 1-1 okay without much trouble. Let's look at section 1-2. Now as we're moving through the sections, I'm not going to stop and read through the section. I do read it, but I'm not going to do that on the video. That's your obligation. I want you to read pages 10, 11, and 12. Pay particular note, again, to the boxes that are called examples. Example 1. The boxes that are called key concept, order of operations. Example 2, and so forth. You read through that. That's going to show you exactly what your work should look like, how to do your work. Again, example 1, evaluate expressions. And here's an example. When we actually get to the exercises that you will have to do, look. Number 1, evaluate each expression using examples 1 through 3. This one will be just like the problem that was done in example 1, and so forth. You should be taking notes. As you read through the section, you should be taking notes. Here's an idea of what your notes should look like. This section is about order of operations. Order of operations means PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This is an acronym that stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. When we are simplifying expressions, this is the order that we go in. Sometimes we won't have parentheses, but if we do have parentheses, that means do this operation first. We won't always have exponents, but when we do have exponents, they come before multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. We generally work from left to right, especially when there are no parentheses or we've gotten rid of them. And if there are no exponents and we've gotten rid of them, then we start at the left, we work to the right, looking for multiplication and division first, and then addition and subtraction last. Here's another note. Evaluate means to simplify. That is, to do all the math possible. With an expression like this, 3 to the 4th power plus 7. We have exponents in this expression. We also have addition in this expression. PEMDAS says to do the exponents first and then the addition. So we do the exponents first, 3 to the 4th power. Let's change that to 3 to the 3rd power because I already see what I did here. Means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 being multiplied 3 times. 3 being multiplied 3 times equals 27. You haven't done anything with the addition yet, so the plus 7 comes down. And now you do the last operation, the addition, 27 plus 7, 34. Here's another example. 5 plus, and in parentheses, 7 take away 2. Here we have parentheses, we have addition, and on the inside of the parentheses we have subtraction. PEMDAS tells us that we must do the parentheses first, so we do this subtraction first. 7 take away 2 is 5. We haven't done anything with this 5 yet, so it just comes down onto our new line, and we end up with 5 plus 5, which equals 10. Then in some of your work today, they're going to ask you to evaluate an expression, such as this one, and they're going to tell you the value for each variable. X equals 3, y equals 5, z equals 2. That means you replace the letter, the variable, with its value. So instead of x to the 2nd power, now we have 3 to the 2nd power because x is 3. Instead of y, we have a 5 in its place because y equals 5. Instead of z, we have a 2 in its place because z equals 2. So we replace all the letters with their values, and now we use PEMDAS to simplify or evaluate. We have exponents, addition, multiplication, parentheses, subtraction. Parentheses come first. So we do the 5 minus 2, and we have the 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do another step, since I can do that without interfering with what's going on over here. Exponents come after parentheses, 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 plus 2 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. Multiplication comes before this addition. And now we have 9 plus 6. 9 plus 6 equals 15. So let's look at your exercises, the work that you're going to have to do. I've got my notes here right next to me in case I need them. And now I'm ready to start the work. So let me say a couple of things so far, because some of you probably looked at my hands and you went, "Ew, doesn't he ever wash his hands?" And the fact is, yes, I wash my hands quite frequently. I have an old pickup that I really like to work on, and my hands sometimes get grease stained. That's what that is. Right there is where I pinched myself with some pliers. I twisted a bolt and got the worst end of the deal. So please excuse my hands. They are clean. I just have a little bit of my old pickup that goes with me everywhere. The other thing is I'm using a pen, and the only reason why I'm using a pen is because it shows up better on the video. You use a pencil. I am requiring you to use a pencil. You will make mistakes. You will need to erase. I don't want an erasable pen. Let's just not go there. Use a pencil. Use white paper. And let's just get our work done. All right. I'm going to do some of the odd problems. The answers to the odds are in the back of the book. Problem number 1, evaluate each expression. Number 1 is 9 squared. We're going to do it just like the example. It's 9 squared, which means 9 times 9, and 9 times 9 is 81. What I don't want is for you to just put equals 81. This is what the example showed us to do. This is how we're going to do it. Number 3. 3 to the 5th power. That means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. This number here, the exponent, tells us how many times we're going to multiply the number 3. Okay, so 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81, times 3 is 243. Now you're probably going to type that in your calculator. That's fine. Do this work first though. Write it out the way it's supposed to be written out. Number 5. 5 times 5 minus 1 times 3. I've got my notes. It tells me that multiplication comes before subtraction, and here I have another multiplication. There are 2 different multiplications. You can do them both in the same step. 5 times 5 is 25. 1 times 3 is 3. And now we're going to bring down that minus sign right between them because we haven't used it yet. And we end up with 25 take away 3 is 22. Number 7. Here's a bracket. Brackets are used the same way parentheses are. They tell us, or they kind of force us in what we are supposed to do when. All right, So here we go. Parentheses. Well, here's some parentheses right here, but means multiplication in this case. There's nothing on the inside of this parenthesis that needs to be done. Same way with this 4 here. These are parentheses, but there is nothing on the inside of the parentheses that needs to be done. Now we look at the brackets, which are also considered parentheses. And when I look inside these brackets, there is math that can be done. I have multiplication, subtraction, and exponents. Okay, so order of operations says to do exponents first. If I keep it over here, that doesn't mean that I can't go ahead and do this multiplication. 8 times 2, 16. 4 times 4. And there's a minus sign between those. And then plus, since this is separate and apart from all this over here, I can go ahead and do this multiplication, 28. Now I still have this set of parentheses right here, and because there was a minus sign in front of that 4 squared, I had to put it in parentheses when I wrote 4 times 4. So here we go. 16 minus 4 times 4 is 16 plus 28. Not quite done yet. We still have parentheses, subtraction, addition. Inside these parentheses, which is the part that we must do first, we have subtraction. 16 take away 16, which leaves us with 0. And then plus 28. Now all the parentheses are gone. We just work left to right. 0 plus 28 is 28. Bada boom, bada bing. Number 9. Number 9 has several different things going on, but that's all right. We got the quantity 4 times 3. That's how you would say it. If there's a set of parentheses with some work on the inside, you call it a quantity. The quantity of 4 times 3 being squared, being divided by 9 plus 3. All right, here we go. We have division right here. We have parentheses. We have exponents, and we have addition. Order of operations says do the parentheses first. So here we go. 4 times 3 is 12. That number is being squared. I completed the inside. That let me get rid of the parentheses. And now I move the exponent down here to the result. On the bottom, which is completely separate from the top, we can go ahead and do this addition. It is 12. 9 plus 3 is 12. Now we have the exponent on the top. 12 to the second power means 12 times 12. And on the bottom we still have 12. Now we can complete this multiplication. 12 times 12 is 144. Being divided by 12, 144 divided by 12 is 12. That's done. Now if you look at my paper, I've done 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and it's almost taken up from top to bottom of the paper. However, I've only written on half of the sheet. You can write on both sides of the sheet. Just draw you a nice little line all the way down. And now we're going to go back up here at the top and we're going to start again. All right. This time, we're going to evaluate an expression, and it's going to tell us how much each of the variables is, the value for each variable. So number 11, we have 2a plus the quantity b squared divided by 3. And the book says that a is 4. So everywhere there's an a, I need to replace it with a 4. So this changes. Instead of 2 times a, it's now 2 times 4. So 2 times 4 plus the quantity. B is 6. Here's a b. I'll replace it with a 6, and that's raised to the second power divided by 3. In number 11, C is not used, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, order of operations, parentheses first. This 2 times 4 is over here by itself. It's not even involved in this, so I can go ahead and do that, and it would be 8. Bring down that plus sign. The quantity 6 times 6, because it's 6 to the second power, and I'm going to include that in its own separate little set of parentheses, divided by 3, close parenthesis. Right, addition, multiplication, parentheses, division. Right, can't do this yet, so 8 plus. On the inside of the parentheses, we have another set of parentheses. The other set gets done first. 6 times 6, 36. Divided by 3. Now we're ready for the next step. Still we have parentheses, so that comes first. Not doing anything with the 8 yet, so 8 plus. 36 divided by 3 is 12. There's nothing left to do on the inside of the parentheses, so I no longer need the parentheses. They're gone. And now I have this worked down to just 8 plus 12. 8 plus 12 equals 20. And that's the answer. All right. I think that's sufficient. And what I need you to do is I need you to work numbers 2 through 28, the evens. Your assignment is pages 12, 13, 2 through 28 evens. This is the way that I want your work to look. You can use front and back of your paper. If you need to pause the video and take a look and write down these notes that I have written, then go ahead and pause it. Make your notes and have them right there next to you as you're working on this assignment. 2 through 28, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. That's your assignment. Thank you very much, and goodbye.